Good afternoon and happy Wellbeing Wednesday. I'm Kristen Collins, and it's really wonderful to connect with you this week. And it's been a really surreal week coming off the election. And as I've been sitting contemplating what message this week is resonating that I'd like to connect with you on, it's definitely not a political conversation. And what I think my big takeaway this week has been is the serenity of the aftermath of this election and the pause and the sitting in the present moment and the exhale that's occurring. It's a really interesting time right now. So a couple things that are coming up for me that I wanted to connect with you on. It all boils down to really, really basic self-care and letting go of judgment. And it's been interesting all week this week as I've been experiencing different opportunities to reflect on the basic self-care that is so imperative and not projecting our discomfort onto others through judgment. I was scrolling through social media and saw my soul brother, Dr. Darren Morton from Australia, who's been a real foundational partner in my development and growth and my better understanding of mental health and optimal well-being, a true thought leader in positive psychology. And he's not a big social guy, right? And I'm not a big social girl. So between the two of us, it's unusual for me to see material of his. And I was so pleased to see him put out some content, which was something along the lines of what I wanted to connect with you on. And that was really about, he was expressing how physical health, how taking care of yourself is imperative. It is foundational to mental health and well-being. So Dr. Darren Morton, thank you so much for your continued service and global leadership when it comes to positivity and positive psychology and self-care and how that is related to our physical health. So this Wellbeing Wednesday's theme is really about taking care of you. I'd really like to thank the Greater Fort Myers Chamber of Commerce here in Southwest Florida for hosting their annual business summit, and this year, like almost everything else, in a virtual format, and inviting me to launch their series and be their keynote. And guys, I'm really excited to connect with you next Monday, and I'm going to ask if we could put your business summit information in the notes on this YouTube. So if anyone would like to plug in to your business as unusual summit, really talking about how are we getting through these times and taking care of ourselves and our business. So I'm excited. Next Monday, I'll be doing a live keynote kicking this off, and it's called Thriving Through Unprecedented Times, and how organizational health starts with you, and really taking these business leaders on a deep dive to drill down to root cause of we each have to take care of ourselves. And then we'll be able to go ahead and take care of our families, our friends, our community, and our businesses. So really excited for that opportunity, and thank you. And again, I'll share that if you guys want to plug in. There's some incredible speakers that I'm really honored to share the platform with. And I do love that chamber. They do such a great job and have always done such a great job weaving in well-being and business. So thanks, guys, on that. Another thing that I wanted to touch in on is about judgment. And again, not to get preachy and into politics, I was very conscious last week as I was connecting with you guys about what might bubble up post-election. And I'm really finding, at least in my circle or in my sphere, which I'm pretty buttoned up, I'm buttoning back up even more with this sudden, again, expansion of COVID. So I'm pretty hunkered down, but I still try to connect with people and friends and stay plugged in. And it's this, theme in this aftermath about judgment. And I'm really thankful, pleasantly surprised, or just totally naive, or a combination of all of those, in relation to the lack of just disgusting judgment and projection that I'm experiencing. And I hope that you're experiencing the same. And if you're not experiencing it, I hope that you're leading with it. And I don't mean leading in an overt way, where you're projecting your thoughts and beliefs on others, but really, how are you being post-election? So I, again, have been really pleasantly surprised with just some of the calm and the serenity. And thank you guys for being in the moment, releasing judgment, and accepting that, you know, we know who we are, we like who we are, and we shine brightly who we are, but we also don't force who we are on others and cast judgment on others. And I'm really hopeful that we can all turn a corner on this pendulum swing of divisiveness and really welcome the diversity and the uniqueness of each and every one of us. And that starts with ourselves. Embracing, we are not perfect. And, you know, God bless you if you think you are. But I mean, we all have flaws. We all screw up at times. And being kind to ourselves and forgiving ourselves and moving forward with authenticity and grace, and sometimes apologizing. I'm the hardest critic on myself when I mess up, right? So sometimes that's the case. So, you know, judging self, judging others, it can be a problem. So I'm really hopeful that I continue to experience this coming together of divisiveness and this acceptance of our uniqueness, and we can all heal and move forward, because healing is foundational to our self-care. So in the theme of judgment, I was reflecting today, and I had to pull out one of my Bibles, Glennon Doyle's Untamed. Anytime that I'm giving a keynote or connecting with people and I bring up Untamed, the vast majority of people that I'm connecting with are like, So if you haven't read that book, which came out last year, or earlier this year, actually, it's a wonderful read, and it's something I reflect on and go back to all the time. So Glennon just summed up judgment so beautifully that I'd like to read a paragraph from her Untamed, which really summarizes my feelings this week on Wellbeing Wednesday. So Glennon shares, "The truth is that it matters not at all what you think of my life, but it matters supremely what you think of your own. Judgment is just another cage we live in, so we don't have to feel, know, and imagine. Judgment is self-abandonment. You are not here to waste your time deciding whether my life is true and beautiful enough for you. You are here to decide if your life, relationships, and world are true and beautiful enough for you. And if they are not, and you dare to admit that they're not, you must decide if you have the guts, the right, perhaps even the duty to burn to the ground that which is not true and beautiful enough, and get started building what is." Thank you, Glennon, for that. So in the theme of 2020 and Wellbeing Wednesday, and the opportunities, as incredibly weird and sometimes horrifying as this year has been, how are we connecting with ourselves, loving ourselves, accepting ourselves, not projecting judgment on one another, looking at our lives with childlike wonder and rebuilding what it is that makes us uncomfortable about who we are. So that, friends, is the Wellbeing Wednesday message this week, and I hope it sparks something inside of you. Please feel free to connect, say hello, write a comment, share this information, and if you can, like and subscribe. The message is starting to get out, and it's getting exciting for me. So thanks so much. I look forward to reconnecting with you next week, and I hope you have a wonderful week of self-care and self-love. Bye.